Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
To cover or extend over an area or time period. The parking lot spans 3 acres. 2 items of the same kind. A structure that allows people or vehicles to cross an obstacle such as a river or canal or railway, etc. The act of sitting or standing astride. A unit of length based on the width of the expanded human hand, usually taken as 9 inches. The complete duration of something. The job was finished in the span of an hour. The distance or interval between 2 points. Meet at a point. To cover or extend over an area or time period. Extending or lying across, in a crosswise direction, at right angles to the long axis. Cross members should be all steel. Travel across or pass over. Annoyed and irritable. Any affliction that causes great suffering. That is his cross to bear. A marking that consists of lines that cross each other. Genetics, the act of mixing different species or varieties of animals or plants and thus to produce hybrids. Hinder or prevent, the efforts, plans, or desires, of. Genetics, an organism that is the offspring of genetically dissimilar parents or stock, especially offspring produced by breeding plants or animals of different varieties or breeds or species. A mule is a cross between a horse and a donkey. Breed animals or plants using parents of different races and varieties. Cross a horse and a donkey. A representation of the structure on which Jesus was crucified, used as an emblem of Christianity or in heraldry. A wooden structure consisting of an upright post with a transverse piece. Fold so as to resemble a cross. She crossed her legs. Meet and pass. The trains crossed. Trace a line through or across. Cross your T. Move with sweeping, effortless, gliding motions. Sweep with a broom or as if with a broom. To cover or extend over an area or time period. American football, an attempt to advance the ball by running around the end of the line. Someone who cleans soot from chimneys. Force into some kind of situation, condition, or course of action. A long oar used in an open boat. Make a big sweeping gesture or movement. Winning all or all but one of the tricks in bridge. Sweep across or over. A wide scope. The sweep of the plains. A movement in an arc. A sweep of his arm. Clean by sweeping. Please sweep the floor. Cover the entire range of. Win an overwhelming victory in or on. Taking a zigzag path on skis. To cover or extend over an area or time period. Rivers traverse the valley floor. A horizontal beam that extends across something. Travel across or pass over. Deny formally, an allegation of fact by the opposing party, in a legal suit. A horizontal crosspiece across a window or separating a door from a window over it. Travel across. A structural member used to stiffen a framework. A set of two similar things considered as a unit. Prepare oneself for something unpleasant or difficult. A carpenter's tool having a crank handle for turning and a socket to hold a bit for boring. Two items of the same kind. An appliance that corrects dental irregularities. Elastic straps that hold trousers up, usually used in the plural. Cause to be alert and energetic. Support or hold steady and make steadfast, with or as if with a brace. Brace your elbows while working on the potter's wheel. A rope on a square-rigged ship that is used to swing a yard about and secure it. A support that steadies or strengthens something else. He wore a brace on his knee. Either of two punctuation marks, or, used to enclose textual material. Support by bracing. Link together. Can we couple these proposals? Two items of the same kind. A pair who associate with one another. The engaged couple. Form a pair or pairs. A pair of people who live together. A married couple from Chicago. Engage in sexual intercourse. Bring two objects, ideas, or people together. This fact is coupled to the other one. A small indefinite number. He's coming for a couple of days. Physics. Something joined by two equal and opposite forces that act along parallel lines. Two items of the same kind. A stanza consisting of two successive lines of verse, usually rhymed. Two items of the same kind. Two items of the same kind. Two performers or singers who perform together. Two items of the same kind. A pair who associate with one another. Ballet. A dance for two people, usually a ballerina and a dancer noble. A musical composition for two performers. Two performers or singers who perform together. Two items of the same kind. A pair who associate with one another. A musical composition for two performers. Two items of the same kind. A set of two similar things considered as a unit. Arrange in pairs. Two items of the same kind. Form a pair or pairs. The two old friends paired off. Engage in sexual intercourse. Occur in pairs. Bring two objects, ideas, or people together. The student was paired with a partner for collaboration on the project. A poker hand with two cards of the same value. Two people considered as a unit. Two items of the same kind. Two items of the same kind. A pair who associate with one another. An inseparable twosome. Link with or as with a yoke. Yoke the oxen together. Two items of the same kind. A connection, like a clamp or vice, between two things so they move together. An oppressive power. Under the yoke of a tyrant. A pair of draft animals joined by a yoke. Pulled by a yoke of oxen. Become joined or linked together. Fabric comprising a fitted part at the top of a garment. Put a yoke on or join with a yoke. Stable gear that joins two draft animals at the neck so they can work together as a team. Support consisting of a wooden frame across the shoulders that enables a person to carry buckets hanging from each end. The link between two lenses rests on the nose. A denture anchored to teeth on either side of missing teeth. An upper deck where a ship is steered and the captain stands. A structure that allows people or vehicles to cross an obstacle such as a river or canal or railway, etc. A circuit consisting of two branches, four arms arranged in a diamond configuration, across which a meter is connected. Connect or reduce the distance between. Any of various card games based on whist for 4 players. A wooden support that holds the strings up. Crossover on a bridge. Make a bridge across. Bridge a river. Something resembling a bridge in form or function. His letters provided a bridge across the centuries. The hard ridge that forms the upper part of the nose. Her glasses left marks on the bridge of her nose. Range or extend over. Occupy a certain area. The plants straddle the entire state. The act of sitting or standing astride. A gymnastic exercise performed with a leg on either side of the parallel bars. A noncommittal or equivocal position. Sit or stand astride of. The option to buy or sell a given stock, or stock index or commodity future, at a given price before a given date, consists of an equal number of put and call options. Be noncommittal. A recording of a song that was first recorded or made popular by somebody else. They made a cover of a Beatles song. Form a cover over. The grass covered the grave. Clothe, as if for protection from the elements. Cover your head. A fixed charge by a restaurant or nightclub over and above the charge for food and drink. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The cover concealed their guns from enemy aircraft. Travel across or pass over. The caravan covered almost 100 miles each day. Span an interval of distance, space or time. The period covered the turn of the century. A covering that serves to conceal or shelter something. Under cover of darkness. Include in scope. Include as part of something broader. Have as one sphere or territory. This should cover everyone in the group. Fire that makes it difficult for the enemy to fire on your own individuals or formations. Artillery provided covering fire for the withdrawal. Put something on top of something else. Cover the meat with a lot of gravy. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. The protective covering on the front, back, and spine of a book. Make up for shortcomings or a feeling of inferiority by exaggerating good qualities. Bedding that keeps a person warm in bed. He pulled the covers over his head and went to sleep. Hide from view or knowledge. The president covered the fact that he bugged the offices in the White House. Be responsible for reporting the details of, as in journalism. The cub reporter covered New York City. Covering for a hole, especially a hole in the top of a container. Put the cover back on the kettle. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. The course covered all of Western civilization. Sit on eggs. The female covers the eggs. Protect by insurance. The insurance won't cover this. Cover as if with a shroud. Copulate with a female, used especially of horses. The horse covers the mare. A false identity and background, especially one created for an undercover agent. Her new name and passport or cover for her next assignment. Be responsible for guarding an opponent in a game. Be sufficient to meet, defray, or offset the charge or cost of. Is this enough to cover the check? Help out by taking someone's place and temporarily assuming his responsibilities. She is covering for our secretary who is ill this week. Hold within range of an aimed firearm. Invest with a large or excessive amount of something. She covered herself with glory. Maintain a check on, especially by patrolling. The second officer covered the top floor. Play a higher card than the one previously played. Smith covered again. Protect or defend, a position in a game. He covered left field. Provide for. The grant doesn't cover my salary. Provide with a covering or cause to be covered. Cover her face with a handkerchief. Spread over a surface to conceal or protect. This paint covers well. To take an action to protect against future problems. Count the cash in the drawer twice just to cover yourself. Extend in scope or range or area. The law was extended to all citizens. Offer verbally. Extend my greetings. Expand the influence of. The king extended his rule to the eastern part of the continent. Span an interval of distance, space or time. The war extended over 5 years. Extend or stretch out to a greater or the full length. Extend the TV antenna. Increase in quantity or bulk by adding a cheaper substance. Extend the casserole with a little rice. Thrust or extend out. Extend a hand. Continue or extend. The disease extended into the remote mountain provinces. Cause to move at full gallop. Reach outward in space. The awning extends several feet over the sidewalk. Use to the utmost. Exert vigorously or to full capacity. He really extended himself when he climbed Kilimanjaro. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. My memory extends back to my 4th year of life. Make available. Provide. Extend a loan. Lengthen in time. Cause to be or last longer. She extended her visit by another day. Extend one's limbs or muscles, or the entire body. Open or straighten out. Unbend. Can we extend the legs of this dining table? Prolong the time allowed for payment of. Extend the loan. Continue a certain state, condition, or activity. We continued to work into the night. Span an interval of distance, space or time. The archipelago continues for another 500 miles. Continue talking. I know it's hard, he continued, but there is no choice. Keep or maintain in unaltered condition. Cause to remain or last. Continue the family tradition. Continue in a place, position, or situation. She continued as deputy mayor for another year. Do something repeatedly and showing no intention to stop. We continued our research into the cause of the illness. Move ahead. Travel onward in time or space. She continued in the direction of the hills. Allow to remain in a place or position or maintain a property or feature. We cannot continue several servants any longer. Continue after an interruption. The demonstration continued after a break for lunch. Exist over a prolonged period of time. The bad weather continued for 2 more weeks. One of the 4 playing cards in a deck that have 2 spots. The cardinal number that is the sum of 1 and 1 or a numeral representing this number. A word used in exclamations of confusion. The deuce with it. A tie in tennis or table tennis that requires winning 2 successive points to win the game. Being one more than one. He received 2 messages. One of the 4 playing cards in a deck that have 2 spots. The cardinal number that is the sum of 1 and 1 or a numeral representing this number. Being one more than one. The cardinal number that is the sum of 1 and 1 or a numeral representing this number. Being one more than one. The cardinal number that is the sum of 1 and 1 or a numeral representing this number. The people in a society considered as a system organized by a characteristic pattern of relationships. Sociologists have studied the changing structure of the family. A particular complex anatomical part of a living thing and its construction and arrangement. He has good bone structure. A thing constructed. A complex entity constructed of many parts. The structure consisted of a series of arches. Give a structure to. I need to structure my days. The complex composition of knowledge as elements and their combinations. His lectures have no structure. The manner of construction of something and the arrangement of its parts. Artists must study the structure of the human body. The commercial activity involved in repairing old structures or constructing new ones. Their main business is home construction. The act of constructing something. During the construction we had to take a detour. An interpretation of a text or action. They put an unsympathetic construction on his conduct. The creation of a construct. The process of combining ideas into a congruous object of thought. A group of words that form a constituent of a sentence and are considered as a single unit. I concluded from his awkward constructions that he was a foreigner. A thing constructed. A complex entity constructed of many parts. She wore her hair in an amazing construction of whorls and ribbons. Drawing a figure satisfying certain conditions as part of solving a problem or proving a theorem. The assignment was to make a construction that could be used in proving the Pythagorean theorem. The act of changing location from one place to another. Police controlled the motion of the crowd. Show, express or direct through movement. An optical illusion of motion produced by viewing a rapid succession of still pictures of a moving object. The cinema relies on apparent motion. A natural event that involves a change in the position or location of something. A formal proposal for action made to a deliberative assembly for discussion and vote. He made a motion to adjourn. The use of movements, especially of the hands, to communicate familiar or prearranged signals. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. The reflex motion of his eyebrows revealed his surprise. A state of change. They were in a state of steady motion. Give an incentive for action. This moved me to sacrifice my career. Be in a state of action. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. The soldiers moved towards the city in an attempt to take it before night fell. The act of changing location from one place to another. The movement of people from the farms to the cities. Cause to move or shift into a new position or place, both in a concrete and in an abstract sense. The director moved more responsibilities onto his new assistant. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. We must move quickly. The act of changing your residence or place of business. They say that 3 moves equal 1 fire. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. Follow a procedure or take a course. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. Movement as a sign of life. Progress by being changed. Propose formally, in a debate or parliamentary meeting. Arouse sympathy or compassion in. Her fate moved us all. Change residence, affiliation, or place of employment. We moved from Idaho to Nebraska. Dispose of by selling. The chairman of the company told the salesman to move the computers. Game. A player's turn to take some action permitted by the rules of the game. Go or proceed from one point to another. The debate moved from family values to the economy. Live one's life in a specified environment. She moves in certain circles only. Move so as to change position, perform a non-translational motion. He moved his hand slightly to the right. The act of deciding to do something. He didn't make a move to help. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. Gastrointestinal motility. Ability to move spontaneously and independently. The act of changing location from one place to another. The movement of people from the farms to the cities. A euphemism for defecation. He had a bowel movement. A group of people with a common ideology who try together to achieve certain general goals. He was a charter member of the movement. An optical illusion of motion produced by viewing a rapid succession of still pictures of a moving object. The succession of flashing lights gave an illusion of movement. A natural event that involves a change in the position or location of something. A general tendency to change, as of opinion. A broad movement of the electorate to the right. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. Movement as a sign of life. A series of actions advancing a principle or tending toward a particular end. The movement to end slavery. A major self-contained part of a symphony or sonata. The second movement is slow and melodic. The act of changing the location of something. The movement of cargo onto the vessel. The driving and regulating parts of a mechanism, as of a watch or clock. It was an expensive watch with a diamond movement.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.